Yo, what's up, everyone? Daily Stoic here. That's So today's day 2, and today it's education is freedom. What is the fruit of these teachings? Only the most beautiful and proper harvest of the truly educated, tranquility, fearlessness, and freedom. We should not trust the masses who say only the free can be educated, but rather the lovers of wisdom who say that only the educated are free. Epictetus or Epictetus discourses. Why did you pick up this book? Why pick up any book? Not to seem smarter, not to pass time on the plane, not to hear what you want to hear. There are plenty of easier choices than reading. No, we picked up this book because we are learning how to live, because we want to be freer, fear less, and achieve a state of peace. Education, reading, and meditating on the wisdom of great minds is not to be done for its own sake, it has its purpose. Remember, that imperative on the days when you start to feel distracted. When watching television or having a snack seems like a better use of your time than reading or studying philosophy, knowledge, self knowledge in particular, is freedom. And I would definitely agree with this wholeheartedly. Knowledge is freedom, knowledge is power. Um, to me, a true sign of intelligence, of a true sign of genius, is getting what you want out of life. You end up dying with a smile on your face. If you are as smart as you believe you are, you're gonna die with a smile on your face. If you are smart and you are emotionally disturbed, I mean, you might have mental illness. Okay, we're not talking about the in a bell curve, the exceptions, the rare occurrences. We're talking about the mass majority of humans are relatively normal. And from what I see online, I mean, I think everyone thinks they're a genius, especially when you see one of those pandering videos. But that doesn't matter. What I'm trying to get at is that knowledge and self knowledge is very important. Sometimes you feel like there is no value in a book, or you study, and you say you studied everything. The issue might be your perspective. You might be the framing. You might have misdiagnosed yourself, because if you are reading, you are attaining knowledge. First of all, that knowledge isn't a waste. But if the knowledge isn't serving you, chances are you just framed the problem incorrectly. Um, for example, okay, weight loss, right? You're overweight. You want to lose weight. Well, there could be different reasons. You could eat sweets because one, you just love sugar and you're addicted to sugar. Two, you can be eating sugar and sweet stuff to cope with emotions. Now, what type of emotions? That's a deeper dive, right? The other is no one taught you don't no one taught you how to cook, so you just eyeball everything. You might be overdosing oil, you know what I mean? Or like you haven't really looked into it because you're like, I'm not eating out, but then now you're using more than a tablespoon of oil in your food and whatnot. Might could be hormonal issues, you know what I mean? It could be just be the fact that you just don't work out, or you just don't get enough protein in your diet, or you're on your ass all day. You could be overweight, or you could be out of shape. You could be out of shape for a multitude of reasons. You know what I mean? It's up to us to figure out why. You know what I mean? It's up to us to figure out why. So, but also sometimes, the answer could even be simpler. Maybe for some people, they could try all that and they're still failing. And the reason they're failing is because maybe all they really have to do is they just have to meal prep. You know what I mean? Maybe their issue isn't that they're not motivated or they're not stressing. they could just be like, I just don't have the time to eat healthy, and that's actually their issue, and they need to meal prep because the reason they don't lose weight is because they be eating out during lunch at work. You know what I mean? And so if they sit down and read all these books on like dieting and overcoming cravings and whatnot, but the issue is actually not emotional but more of a lifestyle issue. Sure, all those emotional books, they still serve a purpose, and but it wasn't the solution they needed. The solution, the problem was actually lifestyle, not necessarily emotional. So that's what I mean. Like there could be one situation at hand, because the other thing is we don't have ownership of our problems. There are only situations that we're given and that we must deal with, and there are many solutions for one situation. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Chances are, whatever situation we are in, there has been a multitude of many human beings that have been in that same situation. We just have to figure out the framing that works for us and makes sense. But that's all I gotta say. I'm just going through this every single day, so let's go.